I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for Investment Pitch Media and FinTech News Network. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Christian Hentschel, the founder and tech lead of Tradestars. Christian, welcome to the show, and thanks for taking the time to be here.
Thank you, Ashton. Thank you for hosting me here.
I'm really excited for our discussion today. If we could just kick it off with, what exactly is the focus of Tradestars and the vision and mission of your project?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we want to create the Nasdaq of fantasy stocks, leveraging the blockchain technology. So it's a huge mission we have. There's a tremendous opportunity to do this using the blockchain technology. And we started with the sports industry, fantasy stocks on the sports industry, because of my background in fantasy sports and also in blockchain gaming. We decided that would be the first vertical we would tackle on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really exciting because fantasy sports and trading has been around for a long time, but now you're revolutionizing it, adding in newer technologies. Now, can you talk about how does Tradestars change how fantasy sports has worked before and now how it will work in the future?
Sure. Fantasy sports, it's been around for a while, as you said. Daily fantasy sports is been around for the last 10 years. I think leveraged on the rise of the smartphone since 2009, 2010. And one of the most famous companies is DraftKings, for example. I find that there's a lot of room for improvement in that model. Actually, there are a few companies in the UK. That's one of the crowded markets for sports betting and gambling and that. And we started to see a shift in the daily fantasy model according to the real-time behavior of the new users, the mobile users, according to these times. So we started thinking about building a fantasy stock exchange for sports where people could go to a market and buy and sell shares of their favorite players that fluctuates the value based on the real life performance of that player, instead of building a team and competing against each other for a prize. That's the idea of what we want to innovate on the fantasy sports space. And by doing this on the blockchain allows us to do some really great stuff, and I think it gives us a strategic advantage over the traditional companies, because, for example, we can have an open 7 by 24 hours market because the people interact with the smart contracts, and we don't have holding of their money, or we don't need, if the users buy, we don't need a seller to execute the order. Just they play against the smart contract. So it provides a increased level of transparency and security also, and allows us to do a virtually borderless game also. So I think there are few things that we are innovating.
Definitely, and that's exciting to be able to trade anytime you want and not have those counterparties to verify if you're just interacting with smart contracts. Now, I was looking into Tradestars, and right now you're heading towards the early access of the program. How long have you been working on Tradestars for, and when is the early access available and the main launch of the platform?
Well, we've been working for the last few years, actually. We started the product, the idea 2 years ago. But we released the first version of the product in January. And we registered about 30,000 users. But then the COVID came in April, in mid-April. So sports stopped. And we decided then to start reaching out to esports or verticals to see if we needed to change the model a little bit or need a pivot, because we didn't know at that moment if the sports were about to come back in 3 months, 6 months, next year. So, but when we, then the sports came back in September, so we resumed full speed what we were doing in April, and we are releasing our version 2. So we have now a pre-register list for the users that want to register on the platform and play. And the version 2 is about to be released in a few days.
Very exciting. And your ideal customers right now, integrating smart contracts and blockchain, some people that aren't involved in that industry may see those as technical barriers and make it a little bit more confusing. Do you see the majority of people that are using the platform right now are already familiar with blockchain, or they've been in fantasy sports before? And do you plan on targeting people that are outside of the blockchain industry?
Yeah, we're planning to target the sports fans and the gamers, which is a more broader scope than the blockchain users or cluster of users right now. So this is one of the main focus that we have since we started, because obviously also because of my background in fantasy sports before and in blockchain gaming. So you see that the technology still has some barriers for the massive audience to play, and we are making a lot of effort to hide the technological layers and to allow everyone to register with an email and just play, and we did a lot of work there actually.
And I want to touch a little bit more on the blockchain, because you're utilizing smart contracts on Ethereum, which is a great platform, but you're also working with the Matic Network, which is a layer 2 solution. Can you talk about the technology stack that you've chosen, why you've chosen that, and what are the benefits for Tradestars?
Sure. And this is connected with the previous question, because in order to have a massive product, obviously we can't do that in Ethereum right now, because if we want to have a real-time stock exchange, we need a real-time transactions, and we don't have that in Ethereum, and also the transaction cost is very pricey. So we decided to integrate with Matic, which is a layer 2 scalability solution for Ethereum's side chain, where we execute all the transactions of the game while the users deposit and withdraws money from the main chain, which is Ethereum. That's the only transaction that we have on the mainnet, the deposits and withdrawals, because obviously most of the liquidity is right now on Ethereum. But once we switch that deposit into Matic, the users play, and the timing of the transactions goes from 20 seconds to 2 seconds. And it also allows us to implement meta transactions, which the company pays for the fees of the transaction. So the users don't need to have the currency of the blockchain to make transactions there. And so it's very easy, because you register with your email, you just deposit as if you were depositing on DraftKings, for example, and then you can play without thinking about having crypto for paying transactions, fees, and it all seems very smooth. So this is one of the main things that we work very hard on.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that, Christian, about the users on the platform. They can pay with their credit cards, but can they also use cryptocurrencies? And is there a native cryptocurrency built into the platform?
Yes, both. Obviously, we have both methods. Fiat payments directly with credit cards or transfers, and crypto payments with Ethereum or any ERC20 coin supported. Now we are supporting 8, but we can add more coins. We are supporting just a few, because we are doing also marketing actions with those companies. But yes, both type of withdrawals and deposits will be available. And yes, and we have a native coin, which is the governance token for the company, which plays a really important role in the economy of the system, because when the users buy shares of their players, they will start perceiving dividends based on the real players' performance in the real life, and those dividends get paid on the company's coin, which is the governance token.
Oh, that's really interesting. And I was looking into the technical details of having players, and you're somehow tying in non-fungible tokens, NFTs, into the platform. Can you explain how that works and what are the benefits of having non-fungible tokens?
Sure. We are doing fractional non-fungible tokens, which is a new thing. And what we are doing is, with the NFT or non-fungible tokens, we are tokenizing, we are representing the real life statistics, which we track of football players. For example, we track 30 variables per player per game. So this unique thing is tokenized into an NFT. Then the NFT is fractionalized on the platform, and users can buy and sell shares of that NFT. And by buying or selling shares, by having a portfolio of shares, the shares will the shares price is influenced by the real life performance tokenized on the NFT. So they will start receiving dividends on the main platform token, and all based on that. I mean, we are like gamifying DeFi, let's say, because it's similar to when you go to Uniswap or Balancer, for example, or platforms where you very DeFi platforms, not sports or fantasy stocks related, but users deposit money and they start getting dividends in the main platform coin. So it's very similar, but applied to fantasy sports.
It's a really interesting twist. And with TradeStars 2.0, your new release, you vowed to bring more decentralized finance functionality into these NFTs. And I'm guessing, owning the NFT really, you are in control of that yourself. You have the ability to, as you said, earn dividends, sort of like earning interest on your assets, but you also have the ability to buy and sell at free will. Is that really the main point of the decentralized financial functions of owning these TradeStars NFTs?
Yeah, there are some economic incentives built right into the game, similar to what it's going on DeFi platforms. You can buy and sell stocks of your favorite players. You will start receiving dividends influenced by the real players' performance in real life. And also you can stake that token of the company to unlock new markets. New markets, we call new markets the new players, let's say. So there's an incentive for you to go and buy shares to get dividends, shares that performs better than the others, to get dividends, to get those tokens, stake those tokens to open new markets. And there's another incentive here built right into the fractionalization of the NFTs, which is the very first stocks, as it follows a banding curve, it's not a linear price, the first stocks are the cheapest ones. So there's an incentive for you to go early to the market to spot those players that will have the most upside, to get more dividends, to get the incentives chain going on, let's say. So that's basically the game. I mean, it's a crypto economic game, but based on, influenced by the sports in this case.
That's really cool. And now you launched at the beginning of this year, and it's been a bumpy ride with sports being canceled, and now they're back. And I know you guys have so much more to grow with the platform. Can you give a hint into what do you have in store for 2021 as you continue to grow and expand TradeStars?
Yes. Right now we decided to launch with cricket, and we registered 30,000 users when we launched. It was really good. Based on that metrics that we have, we are seeing we have a plan of reaching to 1 million users by August next year. And also in the for the next few months, we are going to add more sports. Next on the line is soccer, football for us. And we are also, because of the sports that got canceled, we start reaching out to esports teams and also other verticals, like, for example, celebrities and influencers. And we are preparing other things to add to the main platform. But basically, we are focusing now on cricket, then add soccer, maybe esports later. But the plan is to get to 1 million users by August 2021.
Wow. Well, there's definitely millions and millions of people that are watching those sports, so I could definitely see how you could get there. And now we're running out of time, Christian, but I have one last question. What do you think will be one of the main key factors to the success long-term of TradeStars?
Really interesting question. I think would be our main challenge is to make a really easy game for users. I mean, the sports are one of the biggest passion worldwide, and the biggest economy also, factors, let's say, influencers. And so I think that we should make the game as easy as possible, because the people that are looking for this type of games are already there. I mean, you can compare to established platforms like DraftKings, for example, FanDuel, or platforms in the UK. So there's really no similar platform to this in blockchain. So I think we have a tremendous opportunity to do a really good thing here for a massive audience, right? Not just the crypto users. So I think the most important factor for us is to create a really smooth experience by using this product, I think. Yeah.
Well said. And if the viewers are looking to start using TradeStars, follow along as you continue to add more sports and get involved with the communities, what's the best way for them to learn more?
Well, you can go to tradestars.app, which is the site, and also there's a white paper for more power users, let's say, want to understand how it's built and what we are doing. But you can go to https://tradestars.app, and then you have all the links for getting information. Also, we have a Telegram channel, which is TradeStars OK, and Twitter, TradeStars OK also, and Facebook, TradeStars OK. We have 45,000 users in the community. We usually communicate in Telegram and Twitter. So yeah, you can follow us there.
Great. Well, I will leave those links in the description box below. Thanks so much for the time, Christian. All the best with TradeStars moving forward, and let's follow up in the near future.
Thanks to you, Ashton. Thank you for having me here. Bye.